My name is Theresa Wrangham, and I'm a parent from Boulder Valley School District. I have 2 children in the school district, and one of my daughters has special needs and has had to struggle significantly to realize her dreams and continues to struggle. So we fight for her. Kathy, I can't find your clothes. Okay, here we go. The story of education in Colorado is a story of a school funding system that is completely detached from 3 decades of increasing demands on schools and students. Over those decades, we've stepped up on reforms by adding accountability, measuring and mandating outcomes, and requiring individualized services for children who learn differently, in different languages, with special needs and special talents. These changes are all positive. These changes have been right ones to make. Unfortunately, as the state has added new requirements for schools, the funding continues to be disconnected from the requirements, and Colorado's overall investment in education has dropped relative to the national average. How much has it dropped? Let's take a look at the Capitol steps, where we have students here today who will graphically and dramatically demonstrate this decrease. The horizontal black ribbon represents the national average per pupil spending. This is not the goal or where Colorado aspires to be. It is just the national average. It's the middle of the pack. The red ribbon represents how Colorado has compared to that national average over the past 30 years. Every step represents about $100 in per pupil spending. Imagine 5 years passing between each new data point, starting with 1979 in the far upper left-hand corner of the steps. In 1979, Colorado was $161 above the national average in per pupil spending. In 1984, Colorado was $190 above the national average. In 1989, Colorado was $156 below the national average. By 1994, Colorado was $598 below the national average. The downward trend continued in 1999. We were $585 below the national average. By 2004, we were $832 behind. And in 2009, Colorado was $1,809 below the national average. For an elementary school of just 300 students, that difference in per pupil funding represents $500,000 gap just to get to the average. The most recent data for this chart is from 2009. Since that year, average per pupil funding has been cut by $400 per pupil. Since 1974, let's consider some of the increasing demands on our schools, the sweeping statewide changes that have been implemented, even though Colorado's relative funding level has plummeted. We've moved from requiring equal access to expecting equal outcomes. We now require schools to follow statewide standards and students to take statewide assessments. Under the No Child Left Behind Act, schools are now required to ensure that every child meets proficiency standards by 2014. These are the right ideas. The intentions are good, but these reforms have never been funded. Funding decisions are being made despite, not because, of students' needs. That's not just bad policy, it's unconstitutional. Thank you.